globalised world that we now live in means that occupations and human rights abuses like that in West Papua cannot go unnoticed by the world forever. And we know that with the will of the West Papuan people, they will one day see justice for people in their country. Please know that Scotland stands with you, people of West Papua. Papua Merdeka.
A bit of a solidarity action for the people of West Papua, because they one of the things that Benny does wherever he goes is take photos of people with a flag saying all of these people have heard about West Papua and care about it.
So we're here in solidarity with people who don't have the freedom to call for the things that we can here. Specifically today, the peoples of West Papua, Tibet, Palestine and Kashmir. And also specifically we're meeting today because as we speak, the President of Indonesia, who are occupying West Papua, is in London being entertained as guest of honour by the Queen, being given a knighthood and being praised as a great democratic moderniser and important trade partner.
I mean, in organising this day, you've recognised, and Natalie was just touching upon it, that one of the most important things in campaigning for change is that solidarity matters. The event here today has brought together many groups from different nations. You're representing Tibet, Palestine, Kashmir, West Papua.
Free Tibet!
Occupation! Free and for our nation! No to occupation! Self-determination!
The people who are totally not being heard are the people of West Papua. In fact, if you ask the average person on the street, most people have never heard of West Papua. And that's because there's this total media blackout. No foreign journalists are allowed in, no NGOs. It's always a bad sign when Amnesty International and the Red Cross are banned from going anywhere near a whole big area.
Political exiles, we have Benny Wenda in London who couldn't possibly go back to his own country because we all know what would happen. And while we still have an arms trade across the world, these things will continue to happen.
Benny Wenda, who Linda Fabiani mentioned, has been to visit us in Edinburgh. He's busy this week campaigning in London, everywhere where the Indonesian president goes. Yeah, we just want to speak a little bit on behalf of the people of West Papua, who are an amazingly diverse group of peoples and tribes who live in this amazing island of mountains and rainforests with phenomenal amounts of natural resources. The biggest gold mine in the world, copper, oil, gas, it's got everything. So you can imagine the vested interests of the big multinational companies working in partnership with the Indonesian military.
I am a Kashmiri. When I say that, I don't mean about my origin, I am making a political statement. Kashmir was an independent nation once. October 27, 1947, Indian Army came and enslaved us. It has been 66 years. Some earlier said that they don't know about Kashmir. Let me tell you about Kashmir. Kashmir for the last 66 years has suffered so much of destruction. More than 100,000 people died.
The Chinese occupation of Tibet has resulted in the death of tens of thousands of ordinary Tibetans. Thousands have been tortured, and thousands are still languishing in prisons. For decades, we have been subjected to political repression, cultural assimilation, and economic marginalization. Our voices have been routinely stifled, and our genuine grievances left unaddressed.
There are folk like you who come out and make a lot of noise, and that is so precious, because let me tell you, the horrendous oppression in East Timor went on from the mid-1970s right up until their independence ballot in 1999. And nobody with any power in the world gave a toss, because whilst folk were getting killed all around East Timor, the oil fields were getting carved up between Indonesia and Australia. The Brits were selling arms to Indonesia, and the Americans were changing foreign visits so that it wasn't inconvenient for the Indonesian government and military. And the only thing that forced the hand of the international community about East Timor was because ordinary folk just said, enough's enough, we can't put up with this any longer, and they raised the issues and they made it very, very obvious, and they shamed people into actually doing something. But the power of everybody together from all walks of life is all that will ever change this. So best wishes and solidarity.